Buffering. All right, welcome back, world, to another episode of the Hollywood Kippax podcast. I'm your co-host with the co-host, Alex Millers. Joining me faithfully, as always, is Will Lopez. Will, how's his Arsenal loss sitting with you?
Not good. Not good. This morning I had to go pay my liquor dude, the guy at the liquor store. Big Arsenal fan, Syrian dude.
Oh, damn.
Oh man, that guy wanted his money.
Give me your light bill money.
Exactly.
Power, pay your electricity bill. Um, I'm feeling pretty good despite the Arsenal loss and maybe some drama within the city community, which we'll be getting into both. But after 3-1, I turned off the TV, man. I turned off the TV and I went for a run, and I had a good run. You
I
know what I
bet.
mean? And I was not troubled by the shitty form that we showed in that game.
Oh man.
And it was awful. Um, I mean, really, where to get in this? I mean, it was 1-0 going to halftime was okay. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like it wasn't ideal to go down 1-0 like from the jump,
Yeah.
but like 1-0 is like okay, going into half at 1-0
Yeah.
is not a bad place to be in. We can easily come back from that lead. Even if we lost 1-0, I think it wouldn't have been as bad, right?
Man, that whole fucking stadium, that fan base, the team was against Halan so bad in that game. Poor fucking guy. I mean, not that he's like he needs to be felt bad for, but I'm just saying, dude, when he scored that goal and he screamed in his face, William Saliba screamed in his face.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, you can tell he was like, oh man, that stung. That stung bad. You know what I mean? And god damn it, dude. John Stones. John fucking Stones.
I mean, he's been a great servant to this club.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
of
he was
course.
one of the signings that Pep brought on to make this city side who it was. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And but the thing is that this was a season too far. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact he's one of the first people out of the squad this summer. And what's interesting though is that if you actually really look back on it, all the people that Pep brought in at the beginning of his tenure have stayed with the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva, Rodri,
KDB's been here before
KDB,
that.
Gundogan, like all these players have stayed with the squad for so long.
Yeah.
And I think we're also dealing with a challenge that Pep has never had to deal with a rebuild in his career. If you look at it, he was with Barcelona for 4 years and he was with Bayern for 3 years.
Yeah.
And now he's actually confronted with like probably be his lowest finish as a coach in his career and having to deal with a rebuild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that I think if we got rid of a lot of players at the end of last season, it would have looked like a bad idea.
Yeah.
But honestly, now we're seeing it where it's like, ooh, maybe we could have gotten rid of them. But that's only being said in hindsight. But I definitely think this season will be where we see a lot of our loyal servants to this club
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. I mean, if you if you go to our Instagram and you see the last clip that I put of the podcast, I said, hey, give me Ortega, and if he performs, take out Johnny Stones and give me Kusanov. And I got the opposite. It was fucking horrible, dude.
No way Pep was going to start Kuznetsov or Vitor Reich.
After a fuck up against Chelsea, is that why he didn't start? Is that what you think?
Well, like they already threw him into the fray, out of the frying pan into the fire against Chelsea. That's an ascendant Chelsea squad.
Yeah.
But like, and we got the result there, despite Kuznatsov's, hey, welcome to the city, welcome to the Premier League brain fart.
Yeah.
But that is entirely forgivable, right? But the fact though is that that like I wouldn't have started Kusanov in that game because that's a high pressure game. That's like top notch, right? Like that's
Yeah.
like that's a marquee matchup. he has no place to be there. I'm not sure what the status report on Diaz was, the injury status on Diaz, but I mean, if a player's not playing or not starting, is there's must be something with form and injury and whatnot as to why he didn't start. Stones was fit enough to start, so that's why he played. And um, but it just seems like he forgot the quality that he is.
I mean, did you see that lineup, the defensive lineup that we had for this game?
Well, yeah.
It was Nunez, Akanji, Stones, and Gavardio. What's up with Rico Lewis?
I mean, as you could see, like Nunez playing right back is really summarizes the problems that we have at in the back
That
line,
was bad.
right?
That was bad.
Like, I think Pep has maybe he's lost confidence in Rico and he's just trying to utilize Nunez. And
Yeah.
he's gotten some good results with Nunez, you know what I mean? And Nunez does bring a different style of play. And like as we saw in the Chelsea game, we
Mhm.
saw like dueling left and right wingers, like Gavardiol pushing up, Nunez pushing up, and it maybe that looked like a new tactical evolution in Pep's system to just have both wing backs going forward, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just like a flat back four, only having like Stones or Rico Lewis invert. But like it's only gotten mixed results, and it just Nunez is not a right back. He's not a right back. He's a midfielder,
I
and
mean,
is a
yes.
midfielder. And even this with that starting lineup too, like you could see that there was too much on the left hand side. Like it was like
Yeah.
Marmouche, Foden, and Gavardiol all in that left hand channel, but they were just doing nothing.
And we couldn't get a midfielder for this game.
I mean, like it
Like, what are we doing?
well, yeah.
It's Arsenal.
I mean, we just signed Nico Gonzalez.
That's a good one.
On the
Yeah.
last because today is the last day of the transfer deadline.
Yeah.
So we just got a midfield signing, which was what we needed. But in that game and like in the previous match, like it's like, what are we doing? Like we spent this whole window, like we got two center backs and a wide forward, and like, but no midfielders. That's like the glaring thing was that we needed more legs in midfield, and we didn't get that in this window. But that was before we signed Nico Gonzalez today. And to be honest, I'm not familiar with this game, but it looks like we're hawking a lot of Portuguese and like potentially, I think in the summer window we'll be hawking a lot of Italian players.
Right.
And we're scouting in the right places, and I like that signing from from Porto. And so I think that was a good move as well. But like honestly, like I think we need another midfield signing too. Like I mean, like two midfield signings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see how that goes, man. I mean, we got players now. There's no excuse. You know what I mean? Like, we got players. So, but anyways, let's get into the game, man.
Well, like so we go like I mean, Odegaard scored like in the second minute, right?
Oh my god.
And we're automatically playing down 1-0.
Yeah.
And 1-0, it's like, and in terms of the city squad, you could easily see them deflate. You know what I mean? Like they're going down 1-0 and they're playing with that mentality, like with this squad. And like and I said this, and I said it right as soon as we jumped on. I was like if the game ended 1-0, it could have been okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's we lost, but it wasn't like a shellacking like we saw, right?
Yeah.
And a 1-0 lead is a easily surmountable lead. You know what I mean? Like we can come back from that. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
did. Holland scored, and it looked like a level game, and looked like this game was wide open. But then they just started piling on the goals. You know what I mean? And all the goals played together. I don't even have the time signatures of when all they scored.
Good connection with Savinho and Haaland again.
Yeah.
There's a bromance going on there.
Well, Savinho knows to find Holland at the near post.
Yeah.
And he just puts the ball right there, and then he just hopes to connect with Holland's foot.
Yeah.
Or Holland connects with the foot. You know what I mean?
Something that Nunez wasn't doing at all, bro. Like he had that whole right wing, he would get the corner, the guy would not swing the ball in. And in my head, I'm like, dude, you have the space, fucking do it.
Yeah.
There's players there. And then I just saw a lot of passing, nervous passing, like, no, you do it, no, you do it, no, you do it, you do something, you do something. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh my god, no, man, you gotta play the big man. You gotta play the big man, and right behind him was Omar Marmouche. Man, they just swarmed. The defense on Arsenal was ridiculous. The way they were set up, oh my god, bro, it looked like landmines. just ready for you to fucking, fail and shit. It was crazy. But you got it?
Yeah, I got the
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, all the goals really bleed together, but I think there was a common problem, a common thread with all those goals, right? And it was that we were just giving the ball up
Mistakes.
in midfield. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they had some very clever pressing triggers, pressing traps that we fell into, and we just gave the ball away, and that just set them on the counterattack. And it was like it wasn't just any singular player; it was all of them.
Yeah.
Stones, even Foden, like before
Oh
the,
my
the third
god.
goal, that like he just gave the ball away,
Yeah.
and that's just on a bad touch. You know, we're
Yeah.
talking about Foden with a bad touch. You know what I mean? Like just giving the ball away, just giving the ball away, and they just found the back of the net.
Things are bad when Thomas Party is scoring. You know what I
I
mean?
know a defender for them that's scoring. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, like just it. This we're giving the ball away. Then we just start bleeding goals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then like I mean, as I said, like at 3-1, I was like, game's closed, and I just shut my laptop because I'm just like, just game over. Like City are not going to claw back and score 4 goals to win this game. You know
Not
what
in
I
the
mean?
last 15.
Not in the last 15. And like they like knowing the City side from watching them all season long is that they get so dejected when they go
Yeah.
down like
Yeah.
that.
You can
And you know what
see
I
it
mean?
and feel it.
And deflated. And it's like, and then just like as I was like, just like carrying on with my day, another goal scores. Another goal scores.
Yeah.
Could have been 6-1 if Kai Havertz didn't miss that totally wide open goal
Oh
when it was
yeah.
like basically just him and Ederson, and he just
Yeah.
shanks it wide.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, so after the Thomas Party goal, who was that? Who was after that?
I could pull that up, but I think it was Havertz.
Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
There was
Okay.
yeah.
It was Odegaard, Partey, Skelly, Havertz, and
Oh,
not Duaneri.
Skelly, you fucking dirty dog, doing the fucking Halan fucking celebration,
Are we
bro.
gonna get into that theme of how shit Arsenal fans are?
Even the squad, you know what I mean? It's like they were just about bombing on fucking Haaland.
Yeah,
They were. It was just it was personal.
it was.
It was personal ever since the Stay Humble. They wanted blood.
And like even in like the pre-match preparations, if you saw the videos online, like how like Arteta is like super on the hyperbole about like this is war, this is everything,
Yeah.
and then you see the video of I don't know who it was in training, but like they're faking like doing surfboard motion on like the fucking you see that video? It's like
It was Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. He's like they're pretending to like hang
swim.
10.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like we're not thinking about you guys. And like,
Oh,
so it's like you can
God.
see the mentality in both the City camp who are enjoying their football and Arsenal where it's just like pressure.
Yeah.
And and like they were baying for blood and they got it. And but like the thing is that they were absolutely classless in the process. Just every bit of that squad. I mean the what's it? The Saliba laughing, or was it Saliba or Gabriel that laughed in the face of Haaland?
I think it was Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
I think it looks like
I said
Gabriel.
Saliba earlier, but I think
Yeah.
it was Gabriel. Yeah.
Gabriel, and like they're just laughing in his face, like unnecessary. You know what I
They
mean?
did hit him in the head with the ball last game.
Well, that's true. That just totally makes that memories. I'm like,
He was like,
yeah.
"Oh man!" If
But
we score...
did you see that when he got kicked in the nuts?
No.
Dude, Gabriel totally got kicked in the nuts.
Oh shit.
Foden like totally fucking squared it, and it got him in the nuts, and it like ricocheted off this way, and he goes down, and he's like just. And then Foden tries helping him up, and he like smacks his hand.
That was that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he totally got nailed in the nuts.
I did see that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, ooh, that hurt. That fucking hurt. But like, but yeah, like the Gabriel laughing in his face, the Skelly hitting the Haaland, and then this Arsenal fans just flooding our fucking page. Just stay humble, stay humble, stay humble,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they came. The Arsenal fans came for us.
you know, thank you for nearly 300,000 views on a video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, you're the real one for commenting, engaging, and pushing that shit into the algorithm and giving us a higher profile. We thank you for
yeah,
your engagement. You know what I mean? And but it's just like, like, you know, I posted that meme this morning. Like, do you know how bad you look? You know what I mean? Like, you're celebrating 5-1 like you won a trophy, and then it's like, oh, stay humble. Like, oh, Skelly hitting this, hold
yeah,
on.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like, we're the defending champions. Remember that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Liverpool's running away with the league, and Arsenal are going to be bridesmaids again for the third year in a row.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man. Yeah, no, it was just a very, very toxic game. And they kicked us when we were down. And that fifth goal banger, oh my god, from
I wasn't
outside the
even watching. I
box.
wasn't even watching that point, but
I,
like,
I didn't I didn't I turned off the TV at 4-1. And then my son's like, dude, did you see that fifth goal? And I was like, I didn't. So we watched the highlights and I was like, oh my god, that doesn't make it any better, dude. Like
yeah, one Mary.
it was crazy, dude. But I mean, I don't know, dude. When I saw the starting lineup, I was like, fuck, we're fucked, dude.
Yeah,
We're fucking fucked. Like it was just bad. No Kevin. When I saw them put James Spaghetti and Kevin, I'm like, why didn't we start like that? That makes no sense. Like, why
yeah,
couldn't we start like that? Instead, we started off kind of funny against a fucking strong ass Arsenal team right now. And well, I mean, what the result shows what Pep fucked up on the starting lineup. Like we had nothing to. I don't even
I
know how to
mean, just
explain it, bro.
an overloaded left hand channel. Marmoush, Foden, and Gavardiol
Fuck ups left and right.
that weren't just doing nothing. Midfield giving up balls left and right. Stones basically being a like just a gaping hole
Oh
in a
my
wall. You
god,
know what I
dude.
mean? Like just like
If you look at the highlights, he's in front of at least 4 goals that happened, dude.
yeah,
And it was like, dude, get him out of there.
yeah.
Get him out. You see Rico Lewis on the goddamn fucking bench. Put him in. You know what I mean?
Make some
Switch it up.
adjustment.
Yes.
Make adjustments.
We didn't until the last 15. And I was like, oh, now you put Kevin. But it's too late. You know, the players are discouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know the game is gone. And you know, I mean, you expect Kevin to go in there and clean up the trash. Like, no, bro, it doesn't work that way. But we know you're watching, Pep. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we worship your genius, but
Yes.
hella low key.
Yes,
What the fuck was that lineup about?
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
And but like, are there any silver linings in this match?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Haaland, 250 goals.
That is right. Yeah,
Yes.
Haaland's the fastest player, 250 goals, even faster than Messi, way faster than Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, Arsenal fans stay humble, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in that game, Haaland just broke a milestone, right?
Yeah.
In front of you guys. He gave you guys a show, and you're basically witnessing the next best player of all time. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
And he's
like,
here to stay.
and Lewis Skelly is going to be a washout, like, you know, 6-7 years from now, like a Dele Alli or like a what do you call it, like a Raheem Sterling kind of washout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of like was a good player, could have been a good player, but
Mhm.
ends up playing for freaking I don't know.
And trust me, Haaland's gonna remember all this shit.
Oh,
Remember
dude.
what happened to Cucurella? He waited till the first day of the season and fucking smoked him.
Yeah,
You know, so I'm just telling you guys, y'all fucked up.
yeah.
Y'all fucked up.
I mean, it's gonna be so. I mean, at this point, I'm wearing a Liverpool. I should be just wearing a Liverpool scarf around my neck, and like just being like you'll never walk alone, because like I would love to see Arsenal fans burned by yet another
season,
bridesmaid
so close
run.
yet so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, you know, just because like, yes, they stay humble. Yeah, you're never winning the league, and like. And I think I just said this in the group chat, you know, like I was a former varsity baseball player, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And in baseball, the big rule of the game is to respect the game.
Yes, of
Like
course.
you don't bat flip on people, you don't fucking like do all that shit, even though you do. Some people do. Some people do chat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still respect the game.
Yes.
And like, you know, you can talk all your shit, you can showboat, you can do all this the goal celebrations and stuff like that, but it's fundamentally you got to respect your opponent and respect the game.
Get a job and respect the game, bro.
Yeah,
That's for you, Ipkiss.
yeah,
Uh
and like, but like they just did not respect the game, and like I feel like fundamentally, like I don't know what's going on in the Arsenal locker room, but like there is some fucking like they just are like such under crushing pressure in that squad and to like to fight for a title, but I just think they're just not in the place to do it, and Liverpool is has a secret sauce, and I like I just don't I just see Liverpool winning this at this point, and I've conceded that. Like even with the Chelsea result, I thought the Chelsea result maybe opened up the door to the fact that maybe we can go on some kind of unbeaten run like we've always done and get back to oh shit, we're in the conversation within the last few weeks of the season.
huh.
But that I think that game was a shut closed case
Yeah.
closed. We're not winning the league,
Yeah.
and
We just want Champions League.
we are living for the Champions League zombie run right now.
Yes. Yes.
Like we barely came out of the league play alive, but now we drew Real Madrid.
Oh my god, dude. How shitty is that?
We gotta beat literally the best two teams in the next 2 rounds to make it to the final.
All right, let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that.
Well, we can talk about it, yeah. But like
yeah.
I was gonna say God gives his greatest challenge to his most loyal followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I mean that's what City deserves. I mean, we didn't crush league play, so we're going to this playing a really strong seed. You know what I mean? So the strongest seed. So like to be honest, I don't like I'm shit housing. Saying like, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go on a zombie run and win the Champions League. But honestly, I don't see us winning the Champions League. I don't think we deserve it.
I've seen miracles happen, brother. I've seen miracles happen.
Real Madrid, I mean, gets lucky all the time, and worse teams have won the Champions League than the City squad. So, like, why not? We can win it totally. But do I think we'll win it? No.
When is that game?
Next Tuesday, next Wednesday, I believe.
It's not coming up, right?
It's next week.
Because
the next round is the FA Cup 4th round on Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
That's really early in the morning, 4:15
Jeez.
against Leyton Orient, and then next week we have a Champions League.
Wow.
I'll confirm if it's Tuesday.
Yeah, we're not gonna meet up for that game. That's way too early.
Yeah, and it's Leyton Orient.
Yeah. Well, hey man. By the way things are going right now, I would not count them out. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, don't count as we did the previous round. Against Salford City, like we could easily get beat. Then Tuesday 11, Tuesday at 12.
Tuesday at 12.
Yeah, and then the following Saturday we play Newcastle, who are the ones trailing us.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we're on a strong. We're like between now and March 2nd or 3rd. Like, I mean, we play Liverpool March 2nd or 3rd, so we have a stretch of games that are going to be really tough for us. You know what I mean? And as we've said before on this podcast, like I think with the rhythm things, we're just like every 3rd game is going to be a drop game. Like, you know what I mean? And like if we're facing like really tough opposition, like we could really drop a match. Fortunately, we didn't drop against Chelsea. We beat Chelsea. That was and I was counting us down in that. You know what I mean? But but honestly, like we're game to drop every 3rd game. I think
I saw that schedule. That's something.
Yeah,
that's goddamn. That's crazy. That's gonna be at least almost 2 months of fucking fighting for our lives.
Really. I mean, and I think all City fans have had to recalibrate their expectations, and I think at this point, if top 4 was offered to us now, we'd take it.
Yeah.
And not not sleep on that. But yeah, but have we fully tapped into how piece of shit Arsenal fans are? Oh my god. Like just
there was somebody that said a lot of City fans were like, man, I think I respect United fans more than Arsenal fans.
I did see that comment.
And I was
I agree, and I
kind of agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, wow, dude, those motherfuckers they're toxic, bro.
I mean, this is the fan base that literally invented monetizing negative reactions to
Oh
matches
yeah,
to like for views. Like
yeah,
Arsenal Fan TV was the first of its model to like model just crying into a camera or shouting into a camera about a result,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that was their thing. That was the fan base that came up with that. And then like and I mean last season getting engrossed in the fan community, and I couldn't help but notice that there was also a celebrity Arsenal fan who was an OnlyFans girl,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a Chelsea OnlyFans girl, and they were like doing collabs.
Jesus,
And
this
like,
is the
and if you
world.
saw in that meme, I referenced the Arsenal OnlyFans girl, like kissing the
Oh,
Arsenal
okay.
OnlyFans girl,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
and
did see
and
that.
yeah, and it's like this fan base is just like oh, and then like, and I mean, like, and for some of our American viewers, if you don't understand the geography of England, but they're from North London. They play in like they were from Highbury, but they're from the most leafiest, poshest part of London.
Yeah.
Like and like some of the people that were commenting on that video were like wearing salmon colored shirts. They looked like they were fucking, they take holidays in the country, like in the
Yeah,
Cotswolds and shit.
yeah,
Like literally we are dealing with very posh twats.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And like that's the Arsenal fan base for you. The working class North London fan base are Spurs supporters because Tottenham's in North London too.
Okay.
And
Yes.
it's in like Hackney, Tottenham. That's a more working class area. So like I can respect Tottenham fans because they're the more working class fan base. And obviously you have to have a lot of characters to support Spurs like that, right?
Yeah.
But Arsenal is like the poshest part. And the funny thing is in their history, they're not even from North London. They're from Woolwich, which is southeast London.
Oh shit.
So like they're saying that they're the North London team when they weren't even from North London. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So it's like they're an absolutely laughable fan base. And I'm so glad city supporters are different because like I feel like we've learned the mistakes from like different fan bases. Like we've learned the mistakes from United's fan base because they're the absolutely most commercialized fan base. You know, like I in a certain way I do respect Liverpool fans. Like Liverpool is a great northern city. They're Northerners. There's like this working class ethos to Liverpool too that I can respect. You know what I mean? But like obviously like they've been our rival, title rival, but just because in terms of quality and stuff like that, like they're just been our foils, so to speak. But then like Chelsea fans are diabolical. Arsenal fans diabolical, United fans diabolical, and like I think City fans for sure are more down to earth. We don't get caught up in the social media frenzy,
Yeah.
and we're just a realer fan base than a lot of them. And like, but Arsenal fans are Delulu AF, bro.
I saw an Arsenal fan with a jersey and the name in the back said "Stay humble."
Yeah,
You're going way out of your way to be a dickhead. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that's crazy. Yeah, but fuck them. Fuck them. We'll meet them again.
yeah. We'll meet him again, and but anyhow, yeah, that pretty much it. You know, yeah, it was shit.
Yeah.
And fortunately we have an FA Cup, only FA Cup this week, and
Yes.
we can get some rest and play probably a more rotated side against Leighton Orient and rest some players, and then get ready for Real Madrid next week because that's the prize. Eyes on the prize, my G's.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we're gonna play against, uh, what is it called? What are they called again? Lorient? What?
Leighton
Oh,
Orient.
Leighton Orient. Okay, okay. Yeah, if we're gonna play them, give me this fucking same fucking goddamn fucking lineup, please. Give it to me again. I want to see what this lineup can do against a team like that because that's unacceptable, bro. I mean, to me as a soccer fan, seeing what happened and why we set up that way, I was like, oh my god, what are we doing? Like I said, I keep
I
saying it in the podcast. I want to see that again to see if it was the quality, if it was the players, or what the hell was it? You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, um, Leighton Orient is a team from East London, and they're in the EFL League One.
Mm-hmm.
So in East London club. And like I know we're gonna get a rotated squad, and we'll be talking about that in a moment. But What I didn't make note of this, but what were there any shock Premier League results this weekend?
Yes, yes, there
Remind me.
was. It was Nottingham Forest 7-1.
Against.
Um,
Let me pull up the
who
results.
the hell did they play?
I'm pulling up the Premier League results right now. Um,
Nottingham Forest.
Crystal Palace beat United.
Yeah, 2-0.
Is
I
that
saw
really a
that.
shock result now at this point?
I
don't know.
mean, to lose against Crystal Palace is crazy, bro.
Yeah, they're a terrible form this year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Wolves beat Villa.
Oh yeah.
Crystal Palace beat United.
Newcastle threw a fucking game away. They were up 1-0 and they lost 2-1 against fuck, man. How come I can't remember these fucking teams?
Fulham.
Fulham. There we go. Jesus Christ. Man, I need to stop smoking the ganja. But yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. That a lot of a lot of crazy results in the betting world. I wish I would have betted on fucking goddamn on the Nottingham Forest. That would have made me some money.
Damn, 7-1 is a pretty.
They're not fucking around, bro.
They aren't. What's it? The Espirito Santo has really changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From his from I mean, like I remember him because I was listening to an athletic podcast about Nottingham Forest, and uh, just like all I remember is that that hideous run at Tottenham that he had. That one like first few weeks of the season, then he got fired, and I think that was back in the treble season.
Didn't he coach Chelsea too? And he was actually doing good.
I think so.
And then they just kicked his ass out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and gave it a Tuchel.
Yeah, and they now he's with Nottingham Forest, and it's their striker. Who's their striker
For who?
for Nottingham Forest?
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood. Yeah, that's really supercharging.
That was balling, bro.
Yeah. So he's almost having like a breakout season, kind of like how Jamie Vardy had it with Leicester. You know what I mean? Like he was just goal scoring. So but I can't even be mad at a team like Nottingham Forest. I respect their heritage, the like the fact that they were like Brian Clough and 2 European titles and whatnot back in the day. You know what I mean? Like it's good to see a club like them kind of flying high. You know what I mean? But obviously we're fighting for top 4 this year, so we're kind of now almost we're competing with them now. You know what I mean? Like
they won Champions Leagues again.
Yeah, they want to be in Europe again. So, like what's working for them, is obviously having a break.
And they have 2, no?
2 European titles.
Oh wow,
jinx. Yeah. So that's it for Premier League news. We can get into some city news now. Kind of sparse city news, but some crucial things. We already mentioned this, but Nico Gonzalez from Porto, midfielder from Porto, is confirmed. Fab Romano confirmed to City. Will, how important is this signing?
I mean, everybody wanted a midfielder. That's what they kept saying throughout all the comments and everything that I seen on social media. We need a midfielder, and we got it at the last day today. I don't know anything about this guy, but he must be a baller, or he must do something to get Pep Guardiola's fucking attention.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is after this, I'm gonna go look at some highlights and see if what we purchased.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do some more research.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk around picking up Ederson from Atalanta, which I think could be a potential midfield signing in the summertime. And I just like the teams that we're kind of sniping players from, or you know what I mean, like Porto, potentially Atalanta, Eintracht Frankfurt. Like those are some pretty quality sides that we're poaching players from. Not gonna lie, I say that word derogatively, but like, but I to be honest, I had no knowledge of this person, before this, but coming from a side like Porto, I can only think that he's quality and he has some kind of raw talent that we can work with and mold and will become a good midfielder for us. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we thought of Gundogan. We got Gundogan as damaged goods, but then Gundogan became Gundogan, who we know him today from Dortmund.
Yeah.
So, but finally getting a midfield signing, you know what I mean? When we were, and like that's the thing that we needed the most, you know what I mean? And
do you think Kevin and Gundogan hugged each other and said, "Yes, we're out of here, guys"?
They found our replacement.
They found somebody. We're out of here.
Like you had to hire your replacement so you could leave. Fuck. That reminds me of my job at LASD. Like LASD, the policy is that if you want to leave to go to another school, you have to hire your replacement.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. So if you yeah, it's like yes, it sucks. But anyhow, another news: Nico O'Reilly is set to stay, and there was talk of him moving to so there's strong interest from Chelsea.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I'll just say it like this. I mean, I was going to ask a question, but I'll just say it like comment. I honestly think that we've been underutilizing Nico O'Reilly,
Mm, yeah, I mean, where would you play him?
defensive midfielder, because Nico
Like
O'Reilly.
Rodri spot?
Yeah, because if you look at the depth chart of players who could play defensive midfielder, Nico O'Reilly's there. That's the reason why we even had him playing in like the first senior squad since the preseason. Is that he was on the depth chart as being playing Rodri's position, and we haven't really utilized him in that position. Only been utilized. We've been playing Kovacic, who's a different kind of midfielder than more of a ball holding midfielder,
Mm-hmm.
and then Gundogan, you know what I mean, to think that maybe he could just like spark some confidence and just like pass the ball around like he does, like facilitates the ball, like prime Gundogan, but he hasn't been that way.
Yeah.
So we should really honestly give Nico Riley just more time in the squad, but he hasn't been getting that.
I think it's just the baby face. I think it's the you look at him, you're like, maybe not now.
Against Arsenal, no, but like you know what I mean,
you know
but
what I
like,
mean.
but
Hey,
definitely more minutes.
hey, but Kovacic is coming around.
I mean, I'm not saying that the coach is coming
no,
around.
of course, no. I'm saying it because I was really critical about him in the last season. Last year, and seeing him these past 2-3 weeks, I'm like, oh shit, he keeps getting better and better every week that I see him fucking balling out.
I mean, he scored. When's the last time he scored a goal? He was very recent. Chelsea. Yeah, he did score against Chelsea. Yeah. So like, but I mean, like, if we're just going off a depth chart, like kind of like a roster style, like Nico Riley should be getting more minutes at defensive midfielder, but he's still a very young player, and like so like, but we're keeping him, and it's like, is that what it's just like? I just feel like with City, we're such in this really bad position with players and their contracts, where like let's say like, and we were mentioning this before on the podcast, that like let's say we gave all those players away. Like gave most of our players away, our core starters, our senior starters.
Yeah.
At the end of last season, like they all just went. Like Bernardo Silva went, Stones went, all these players went, and then we fall into the same run of form, like the worst form of whatever since Pep started. But like it's like, oh man, I wish we had Stones. I wish we had Silva. I wish we had. I wish we had this and this and this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're easily falling into a regret cycle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and then also like then we also let's say we start dealing away some of our EDS players, some of our youth players, like Nico Riley. Let's say we dealt them away at Chelsea to start balling out like Cole Palmer did. You know what I mean? And then it's like we have regret over dealing away our youth players. Like, why didn't we not give Nico Riley more time? Why didn't we not give just
James
McAtee more time? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we're just any way we look at it, we lose. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's a really hard space to be, but the only solution to that problem is give the youth players their minutes. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And that's another good thing. James McAtee stayed.
That is true.
Bundesliga almost got a hold of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he stayed. So that's good.
Yeah. So a lot of people staying put. We finally get a midfielder at some point before this. So we'll see how Nico Gonzalez slots in from the get-go, or if he does. Who knows?
Play all of them this weekend.
Why not?
Let's see what we got. Show us something before Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck. So, yeah. So this is just a reminder to follow us across all social media platforms. Hollywood Kippax Official on Instagram, Hollywood Kippax on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. So we typically get to this point in the podcast, and we're just we will eventually move on to talking about our present addiction, but we just want to briefly mention something. And there's just been a lot of drama behind the scenes in the City podcast community that we would like to address before we move on. And Will, you've been kind of more of a spectator in this, and I think I'll just do a lot more of the explaining in this episode, and
Yeah.
Will chime in when he needs it. But like, so we just want to get out in front of this before Colby from Snobby Pod has his say on Wednesday night. So there, let's provide some context. So Snobby Pod, another United States Manchester City podcast, who we were friends with previously, and but over the course of time, we've slowly dissociated from. Said some particular heinous stuff about some very powerful people in the Manchester City community.
Very well known.
Very well known. And I think all of our viewers will know these people when I call them out. So, like Big Steve,
Okay.
we are the 1894 group,
Yeah.
and MCFC Dabs, which is Big Steve's good friend. He's also the co-host of We Are the South Stand, a new city podcast between him and Big Steve.
Yeah.
And it was such a random post, like I was at school and Will was with Ipkiss, and I get a DM from Will and he's saying, "Did you see what Snobby posted?"
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the post and I just read the caption. It was, "Fuck Big Steve,
Mm-hmm.
fuck the 1894 group, fuck the South Stand." And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You just are you really saying this? Is this post really real? Is this not like a draft? Like, this is an actual thing you're saying right now?
Yeah.
And like, it's like I read those things and it just hit like 3 bullets, right? Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then you read the post and it was like he was calling out the guy that was from the 1894 on Big Steve's podcast, and who was wearing a t-shirt that looked similar to something that Snobby had put out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he just said all that stuff because someone was copying his merch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, and I can kind of empathize as a podcast whose people have copied.
Yeah.
We've been copied before,
Yes.
and it's well noted that people have copied our content.
And we see you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, and we lovingly joke about it on the podcast because on this podcast we're content to influence.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we've influenced the Manchester City main page.
Yeah.
Because we know the Man City content creators, the various people who do post on the Man City contents page. We post our shit, they see our shit, and then they post a similar thing on the Man City page. You know what I mean? There's a direct connection between us influencing the Man City page.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing that all last year with the video memes.
Yeah.
We were the first ones to do like the video memes. We were like the pioneers of that.
Yeah.
In that space, and people were copying us. You know what I mean? And some of the other podcasts were copying us.
Yeah.
And we didn't like get in a tizzy because they were copying us. We were just like, oh, you see that?
Good
And
for
it's
them.
Like content to influence, right?
Yeah.
And then last year we were really refining our content, and then all of a sudden, Snobby Pod comes on our radar, and they were a smaller podcast than we were. And within a city fan community, you're always just trying to support one another. And we reach out to them, and we start a secular friendly conversation. And I start giving tips to Colby, who's the guy that does social media for Snobby Pod, one of the halves. It's Colby and Joe, and we took really strong to each other. Like, I was helping him, we were talking to him, we were kind of bonding over different shit, like different things that happened, like the Man United meme last year when we summoned all the Man United fans onto that one meme. We got one of our top posts at that point, and then and we were helping them along the way. And I don't know what happened along the way, but we went on their podcast, they came on our podcast, and I'm not sure what was said, if what I said to Colby, but Colby got offended, and it kind of changed after that point. Like, I could tell that he got offended, and he sort of started dissociating from us. And then we went to Ohio in August, and things were cool. We had a good time. You know what I mean? We weren't like beefing with each other then, and but there were some vibes that were off, and but we were doing this all to enjoy the city fan community that was in Ohio at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and then like over the course of the fall, we kind of dissociate. Our podcast had some struggles, and and we were kind of like, and also the fact that we lost our following at the very end of the last season. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
when our page got shut down.
Our page got shut down, and so like we were kind of struggling, and things were out of our things for many reasons out of control in the last fall, and so we were kind of not active, and then like a month ago, Snobby did this like thank you post, random thank you post for people who were engaging in his podcast, and we were left off of it. And and I noticed that, and I was like, huh, we were left off of their post. We were the ones that helped them get off the ground. We were the ones that helped them refine their content. They were copying our posting strategy, our uh our aesthetic completely, like copy and paste. Like literally, we would post a meme and then they would post a meme, and like it was literally like tit for tat. Like we would post something, they would post something similar to that. They would just post. And then I remember even there was this weird conversation I had with Colby at one point where he was um, like, can we negotiate space together? Like you just post memes, we post memes. Like, can we just like trade off? I'm like, no, like we do our thing, you do your thing, and that's where I started to notice that things were off. But like he snubbed us on that Thanksgiving post, and then like and I kind of noticed him to those things, so whatever. And then fast forward to that moment, he starts calling out the biggest people in the Manchester City space for being copycats when he himself is the biggest copycat. And
Yeah,
oh my god. And like it just like it was so beyond the pale. It was totally shocking because Big Steve, like we worked really hard to get Big Steve on our podcast last spring. We did a lot of work. We were working really hard to bring Steve, and he came on our podcast, and then he went on their podcast because of the work we did,
yeah,
and gave them a platform. But then all of a sudden, like they like fast forward, they have different guests on, whatever, and then they start disrespecting the people that gave them a platform.
yeah,
And it's like that was the hard work we did to get that Big Steve on the podcast, and then they just start like doing damage to the U.S. Man City community and throwing away the hard work that we've done. You
yeah,
know what I mean? To even get Big Steve onto the podcast. And honestly, that shit was so beyond the pale, and it had to be called out. And we made a series of posts. We screenshot the post itself because Colby ended up retracting it, and we call him out on it. We distance ourselves from Snobby Pod. And also like to make one caveat though, we're not mad at Joe.
yeah,
Joe is not the one we're mad at, because Colby is the one that controls the social media, and he was the one that definitely authored that post. And I'm sure Joe had his uh, disagreements with that post, and so like we'll set that aside for a minute. Like, we're not mad at Joe. This is more focused on you, Colby, because I know you are going to go on your podcast on Wednesday night and get your jabs in, and I'm being loquacious enough to be civil about it, like you said to Croco Kyle when you kicked him off his podcast. You remember that? Croco Kyle, another third leg of your podcast, came on to our podcast and said the reason why you kicked him off is that he was being not loquacious. Compared to you, when you DM'd us and talked your shit about us, and you were calling me all these things, you called me a pixie libtard. A pixie libtard. Like, what? Do I look effeminate? Am I a feet?
I don't even know what that means, dude. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you don't have to explain.
Yeah.
Point is, the shit hit the fan today for that guy. You know what I mean?
His pot, like, I've never seen a guy commit career suicide as blatantly as that guy,
Yeah.
Colby,
Yeah.
has. I mean, like, and I almost feel bad for the guy because he has done so much work on that podcast, and I see that work, and I know how hard it is to build a following and to do the content day in, day out. And I know his like life circumstances. I know it's really hard for him being a single dad and whatnot. But honestly, like, he just did the most glaring evidence of self-sabotage I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That was so self-sabotaging. That was such an unforced error. You did not need to say that shit. We to the most powerful people, it's like you took aim at the most powerful people and insulted them. And as a result, the whole community sees you. The whole of the U.S. city community sees you. The whole of the global city sees you. The most powerful people in this organization see you, and you just lost the dream, my guy. You lost the dream. And I don't need to say anything bad about, like, start throwing expletives about that, because that hurt. That's reality now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, you are going to have to live with that, not me, not us, because we're we don't hold grudges like that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And we don't go insulting people like that.
Yeah.
So that's on you, my guy. And we see you for what you are. And say your shit, because I'm not going to be watching. I'm going to probably be at the gym. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to be doing my fucking my Wednesday night tempo run, right? So honestly, say your shit. I won't be listening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's that. That's that, brother. And well, good luck to the boys. And it was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Nice knowing you.
Bye. But
Yeah.
but honestly, let's just get into the FA Cup fourth
You
round.
fired up, bro.
Did I say a bad word?
No.
I did not say a bad word.
No. Props to you. That's crazy, man. It's just it sucks that it had to be this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand the passion for the work, but yeah, it's just crazy that he came at the homies like that. You know?
And we're finally getting some traction in the chat.
Yeah.
And what was it?
Shout out to George, and both Georges are on.
Yeah, and George is saying Mike Jet brother, such a disappointment, to be honest. And honestly, Colby, if you ever rewatch that, that's George Aldapa. That was a friend of yours. That was a homie, right?
Yeah.
That's saying that about you. Honestly, that's just really really just like cringe. I cringe for you, dude. I honestly I do.
Yeah.
And then we got Ipkiss saying Alejandro Fuego.
Yeah. You're like Ghost Rider right now, bro.
But
let's move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
We addressed it.
Yeah, it's been addressed. Is there any I typically give this to you. Is there any burning questions you have, Will, about anything that you saw on the interwebs recently? Anything that interests you?
Aston Villa is fucking building up right now, bro. They just signed Marco Asensio or Marcus Rashford.
They say oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they both went to Aston Villa along with Ollie Watkins. So, and that I don't know what the coach's name is, but the vampire looking guy,
Unai Emery.
Unai Emery, yes, vampire guy. He reminds me of the vampire on the Adam Sandler movies.
He does have
Transylvania.
He does have very Dracula vibes.
But yeah, Aston Villa is building up, bro, and a lot of crazy transfers on the fucking last day of the window. AC Milan is building up too, so the Champions League is not going to be that so easy. You know what I mean? And I'm just interested to see what's going to happen with our guys, because next window there's a lot of fools leaving. So my thing is the EPL is getting fucking great. The EPL is getting fucking good, dude. A lot of teams are building up to fucking give some good competition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I haven't seen any really big moves for any teams other than those two.
Trying to think what I saw at the last minute on deadline day. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll get off the podcast and I'll be like,
there you go.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we have an upcoming match. We have an FA Cup fourth round versus Leyton Orient. As I said, East London-based EFL League One club. And that'd be a good question. Are we home or away?
Oh my God! Please be home. Just so that way we have positive vibes going into the game.
It is away.
Okay, great.
So great. There's been a lot of debate about whether or not like there should be like home or away legs, or whatever. That I know FA replays have been banned, or replays are no longer around. But like, there was this discourse online about like, a big team should always play away at the smaller team's venue, but a lot of the smaller teams are like, hell no, we want to play at the bigger stadium so we get more revenue from the game. right? So Brisbane Road, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure it's a pretty small but pretty decently sized venue, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is they're an EFL League One side. Honestly, don't know outside more than that. But how do you think Pep's going to line up against Leighton Orient?
Well, he surprised me this weekend, so who the fuck knows this week? But like I said it before, I'll say it again. I want to see the new guys on this fucking game, all of them, all of them. I want to see them all. You know what I mean? We need to be prepared for Real Madrid on Tuesday. So give me, let's see, how would I line this up? Give me Haaland, give me Marmouche, give me Foden, give me Savinho, give me Kevin, Kovacic in the back, and then come on, play the guy, dude. Kusanov. We got to see Vito Reich at one point.
So you're just saying that we should just play the new players and maybe
Just
the young players?
This is a preseason worthy game.
Yeah.
Let's see what they got. It's not like it's a fucking big ass fucking.
I think you should still play maybe some of the foundational pieces like Foden.
Yeah, I said Foden.
Maybe play Marmouche as a forward, like Child Marmouche as a forward.
No Haaland.
No, hold on. Grealish and Grealish and Savinho.
You're right. Savinho wouldn't play this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then a midfield.
I'm just saying what I want to see is the preparedness for the Champions League. That's what I want to see.
Preparedness for the Champions League.
Yes. I want to. I don't want to just go in cold feet. I want us to be heated up and know the plan already. Yes, they train, and we don't know what's happening in the training, but I want to see when it matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the FA Cup, this is a perfect time to see what's cracking with these guys. So
maybe try out some new tactical ideas, but and maybe try to find a different solution than playing Nunez at right back.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I mean, just try new tactical ideas. Marmouche, definitely playing Marmouche as a forward might be interesting. You know what I mean? Because I think Marmouche we should learn from the mistakes of Alvarez and play Marmouche more, give Marmouche more minutes than
you're right.
Yeah, and then Foden centrally, and then maybe throw on Nico O'Reilly, throw on like maybe sub on McAtee. You know what I mean? Give us like, and then a back line. I mean, I don't have the injury report in front of me, but I don't know who would be the most fit to start the game, but definitely not John Stones.
Yeah, please no. Please no.
I'm gonna pull up the injury report, but my guess is probably Ruben Diaz.
Damn, Ruben Diaz back?
Yeah, potentially.
Interesting. Yeah, our two toughest dudes are out, man. Rodri and Ruben. Those are the tough guys of the team.
Okay, so Doku is
still injured.
Diaz is
questionable.
No, ruled out. Bob is 25%. He's getting there.
Oh yeah, Oscar Bob, dude. I forgot about him.
And then Ake is indefinite. So damn. Yeah, you might need to play Kusanov.
George said, "Where's that fake cut when you need him?"
Well, that's what I've been saying.
That's such a throwback.
That's such a throwback. But you love it. You gotta love it. Yeah, so I think definitely we'll probably see Kusanov or Vito Reich.
Yeah. Bucket Gavardiol and Akanji.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gavardiol, Kusanov, Akanji, and Lewis.
Rico Lewis too. Yeah, that's true. We'll see.
What's your prediction for this?
3-1.
I'm gonna say 5-1.
5-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your goal scorers?
Give me one Marmouche goal. Give me a Jack Grealish goal. And give me another Kovacic goal.
I'll take Marmouche brace.
Mhm.
I'll take Foden goal. No, I'll say 2 braces apiece. Marmouche and Foden are gonna go off, and then I'll say
Kevin on this one.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a nice little free kick.
yeah, free kick. So 5-1, 3-1.
3-1.
All right. I mean, I finally got my prediction right against Chelsea. Was it who was it? I forgot. I got
Yes,
Chelsea.
3-1.
All right, I went the Kippax safe bet. I literally have not gotten my prediction right since the trouble season. I went all last season not getting my predictions right,
Yeah.
and that I finally got my prediction right. So yeah. So Will, any final thoughts before we sign off?
That's it, man. Let's get these wins and let's get ready for Real Madrid.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Real Madrid next Monday.
Yes.
More in depth about that, and then we'll see how that goes next week. But for the most part, just FA Cup this week. So so this is a podcast this is a podcast your girlfriend tells you to not worry about. This is a podcast that supports the best team in the land.
The best team in the world.
Come on, City. Come on. You know it's gonna be biblical, man. Cheers. Have a good night. See you soon.
See you next week.
Cheers.